So now with an iron farm cranking out iron, it's time to give these villagers a permanent home. Let's make a gigantic trading hall. And I mean, this thing is going to be absolutely enormous because we're going to be fitting 80 villagers inside of this trading hall. Yes, I'm going with 80. Why? Because I not only want to have a lot of librarians to trade with, but I want to be able to get a lot of things that I'm going to want in my world throughout my time playing. Things like quartz, terracotta, and to be able to trade for iron and get golden carrots and maybe a whole lot more things. So let me lay out the outline of what our steampunk build is going to look like. And then we're going to get the area secure, set the villagers loose, and we will start getting them sorted out. Okay, we have a retaining wall up. No, this is not what the building's going to look like at all. This is just temporary to keep these guys in here, and I decide what the structure is going to look like later. But here we have it right here. We got villagers. They're ready to come out of here. I'm not ready for them to come out yet. I figured it'd actually be easier to get them. I don't know. Will it be easier to get them to breed in there? They're pretty packed that in. Maybe let's break them out. We're going to make the decision to do it. Now, you may be asking yourself, why do I need a trading hall? Do I want a trading hall? What the heck is a trading hall? Well, trading halls are ultra important for your world. They are the best way to get enchanted gear. I know a ton of players out there, especially the younger crowd like my kids. They don't usually enchant their gear because enchanting gear is really difficult to do to the average player. Not to some of you pros out there, but to the average player, it can be really hard to do. A trading hall, this is the best way to do it. So you'll want to create a trading hall, usually by starting with something like an iron farm is the way to do it. So I recommend going back an episode, watching the iron farm episode so you know what to do there. But just getting a couple villagers together is going to be the best way to go. All right, there we go. We got villagers now. I'm gonna throw some potatoes because they're gonna need some food to be able to breed. And now, one more time, like I did in the last episode, all those beds up top, I'm gonna have to pull all of those beds down bottom here. That way we can place them down. Plus, I have a chest of beds right here. We have a total of 80 beds now. So we're gonna be able to make 80 villagers. Now, I'm gonna do one thing different this time. I am going to leave one bed here just to leave this villager linked to it. And that'll make sure I don't end up with an extra villager down bottom. So maybe we'll just leave the one that he's like right beside. A trading hall is going to allow you to set up a ton of librarians to be able to enchant your gear because the librarians will sell you enchanted books. I'll show you later how to cycle through those trades to be able to find the ones that you want to. That will help you get, if not max gear, at least get the very important, crucial things. And we're going to go over maximum enchantments and best gear and stuff in the next episode. But I'm hoping this will get a lot of you guys that have never made a trading hall before, or maybe have only made small ones, to reconsider, make one a little bit larger that takes care of all of your needs for not only that enchanted gear, but more, and helps you advance further in your worlds and have more fun and work more efficiently. Okay, now it is time to place all the beds. And there we go, 80 beds down, lots of babies popping out. We'll have to figure out a way to double count these guys, but we will have all the villagers we need soon enough. We got lots of babies cooking now, and this is always my favorite way to do trading halls. I know a lot of people like to move villagers with minecarts and come from a breeder. Honestly, I find that to be a waste of time. I'm gonna show you guys here in a little bit how to get the villagers where they need to be in terms of being able to trade with them. But while we're waiting for these guys to grow, me and you, we gotta talk about how do we even decide what we're going to trade, what trades, professions we need in the first place. My answer to you, the internet. And even more specifically, the Minecraft Wiki. We're going to the trading section of the Minecraft Wiki. We don't want Java Edition offers. We want the Bedrock Edition offers. Now, we have a total of 79 villager professions that we're going to be able to work with here. Let me zoom in here to make this a little bit larger. 79 villager professions to work with. So what we're going to do is we're going to look through all of these guys, pick out the ones we know we want first, and then work our way down from there. So first, for example, I know I want 20 total villagers to be able to trade iron with, because iron is going to be a key way that I get emeralds. Super easy to just trade one iron for one emerald at an iron farm. That's one of the best reasons why you want to combine these things together in the first place. So we can get roughly 20 from this. We could take a look at the armor, the weaponsmith, and the toolsmith here. And starting with the toolsmith, we don't really necessarily need a lot of any one of these, so we're just going to kind of pick some arbitrary numbers, I think. So let's go ahead and say we get 6 toolsmiths, 7 weaponsmiths, and 7 armorers. Armorers. I think that's right. Anyways, we'll be able to get ourselves one of each type of armor. We'll easily be able to get swords and like all the other stuff that we're going to need, which means we won't need to use diamonds to actually get gear anymore. So this is going to equal 20. So now we have 59 left. Next, this one's a little hard to predict how many exactly we'll need, but I know I'm going to need roughly 20 librarians because I want to make sure I have access to all of the possible enchanted books. I should be able to do that in 20 librarians. I'm going to show you guys a trick that I'm going to use here, a add-on that I mentioned towards the beginning of the season that I'm going to use to help me make sure I get all of those enchantments easily. That leaves us with 39 left. I'm also going to want a number of farmers to trade with to get emeralds and XP and to also be able to get golden carrots. It shouldn't take many of those. We're going to say 5 farmers. Leaves us with 34. Next is going to be the Fletcher. I would like to have easy access to tipped arrows, but I really only need certain ones. So I'm going to go through here. As you can see, when I hover over, it'll tell me what the tipped arrow is. I'm just going to take a look at the ones that I think are going to be useful, and then I'm going to get that many Fletchers. There are 6 Fletchers that I'd like to have, leaving me with 28. Next is the stonemason, and the stonemason is nice because they sell quartz blocks. Quartz blocks are really nice to have as a building block, and rather than going to the nether and collecting quartz or even using a bartering farm for a limited amount of quartz, you don't really get a ton. It's nice to have the stonemason for quartz and to have the stonemason for terracotta. They do give you terracotta as well, especially if we can get the base color of terracotta that we can re-dye to anything that we want. So I think I want to have 10 masons. Next is the cleric. I would like to have so we can buy glowstone, ender pearls in the short term, although we'll have a bartering farm for that later on, and redstone dust especially would be nice to be able to buy. So I think we're going to get 5 clerics. You know what? Let's bump that up to 8. So that left me with 10 left, and then we have a few leftover professions. I would like to have everybody, so we're going to add in the final ones: 2 butchers, 2 cartographers, 2 leather workers, 2 fishermen, and 2 shepherds. I can now take this list and now we can go make all the professions blocks that we need to go here in the building. Okay, here we are, and I have all of the profession blocks we need except for one type, and that is brewing stands, because brewing stands can only be made with blaze rods, and we don't have access to blaze rods yet because they are in nether fortresses and we have not found one yet, and we'll be doing that in a future episode. So we'll use a stand-in for that for now, and we just won't lock in those professions. Okay, we're back over and I'm getting ready to get some things done, but we want to make sure that we do have the correct amount of villagers to beds, because if we don't, especially if we have more villagers in beds somehow, this is going to mess up. So what I'm going to do, very simply, I'm just gonna wait till nighttime, and then we'll see if all the villagers hop into beds. And at that point, if there's no leftover beds and there's no leftover villagers, then we did our job right. And the scramble begins. Some of them, oh, there he goes. Some of them will have trouble getting to it. That's fine. There's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 extra beds here. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. And then I think there's 1 over here, and there's 1 extra villager there. We're good. And now I'm going to move all these beds back topside. Okay, I ended up having one of those babies grow into a nitwit, so we relocated the nitwit. Yeah, relocated. And we got one more baby that needs to grow up. We need to make sure he's not a nitwit, but I'm going to go ahead. I'm going to get rid of these profession blocks. That way, when we actually break the village and we move it all back up top from moving the beds, it'll just help make sure that we don't have any kind of issues when it comes to doing that. We can fully reset the village with no problems at all doing it this way. All right, beds have been moved back up top. Villagers here are all ready to go. And what I'm going to do, again, we're going to work with temporary blocks here. Where did I put my temporary blocks? There they are. We're going to make some pods, and these pods are going to be what holds all of our villagers. So I'm just going to go ahead and make a few stacks of planks here. We'll block off that corner so that way my pods don't intersect, and I'm going to go ahead and start making them. Hello, can you get out of my way? Trying to make your cells. I mean, oh, I'm trying to make you a comfy home. Don't look at me like that. And now we need to count how many of these pods we have down here because we don't have enough. And I have already planned for that. We're going to end up having a second floor above. We'll have to rig something up in the meantime until we actually build up part of that second floor. It's only going to need to go in a couple areas. So I'm going to go ahead and get all of those things done. And then I'm going to live stream. Make sure you catch me on my live streams here on YouTube. Turn those notification bells on. That way, whenever I go live, you get to see it. You can hop in. Okay, I ended up doing some of this on stream actually too. We got all the pods set up. We have exactly exactly 79 of them ready to go. And we even added in upstairs, so we didn't have enough room downstairs for all the pods to go. And I made sure to make it safe, hopefully. So 79 pods now. I'm going to actually take a little break from this because we have another project that we need to do for this episode, because we're kind of working through some things that we're going to do for the building episode 2. And that's the fact that we need to do some terraforming. This is a wreck. This is not going to work. So I'm going to get a bunch of dirt, and we're going to have to dig out some area, I think, and then build up a lot of other area and get this place looking a little bit better. So I'm going to do this on stream right now. This is stream number 7 in the stream list. Just go to the live page. And also, if you don't check out my live streams currently, make sure you check them out, because we're going to hang out, have some fun, do a little chit-chatting while I place a whole lot of dirt and chop down some trees. Okay, I spent a lot of time doing some terraforming with stream. We need to start placing profession blocks down. But look at this. Did it turn out good? Complete transformation. We have like some kind of natural-ish looking land. This is, I would probably curve that in a little bit now that I look at it, but it's fine overall. And if we go take a look at the back, like we even added some like variation to the foundation. So when we do actually put in the blocks that we're going to use for the build, like the foundation will actually like kind of sink down in here. It'll look really good. Maybe we'll even add a basement at some point and have like a little way to get out of it back here. But overall, I'm very happy with how it turned out. But now these guys that are running around like crazy, they need profession blocks. So I'm gonna need to figure out exactly like where I want each profession to go. I think what I'm gonna end up doing is the ones I'm gonna use the most frequently will kind of be towards the front, and the ones I use the least frequently will be towards the back. So like the farmers, for example, I'll come in here frequently to get golden carrots from them. So I might want that in the front. Also, iron will be doing a lot. So like the weaponsmiths and that kind of stuff, maybe those will go back there, because we'll have to come in here for the iron anyways, and the iron will probably be like stored below somewhere. The librarians, like after we use them the first time, we won't really use them a lot again, I don't think. Maybe they'll kind of go in the back up top. I don't really know. I'm gonna start placing down profession blocks in their spots though, and their spots are gonna be right here just like this. So like I would put that one down, a villager's gonna link to it, and he's gonna come over here, and we're actually going to use this as our method for trapping the villagers here a little bit later. So I'm gonna go through, I'm gonna place them all down with stream. When I get back, we'll have professions for every villager. Houston, we have a problem. The problem actually is the fact that the villagers don't want to see or detect the workstations up here, because they're one block too high out of their detection range. So we're gonna have to resort to different measures. What I need to do is lock them into their cells. And this is actually how we're going to end up sorting the villagers anyways, because the villagers, whenever it's time for them to work, they will either go stand on or in front of the workstation that they have linked to. So all we got to do is give them a little push in, put some blocks over the head, and that will lock them in place. So what am I going to do? I'm going to do this for the whole bottom floor, and any that do happen to wander up to the top floor, I need to do it to them too, because otherwise they'll walk down and then they'll lose their job lock again. So we'll lock these guys in, we'll lock all of these guys in down here, and then I'm gonna have to move the ones that are left over from the bottom up to the top, and we're gonna do that with mine carts. Okay, I think I have a better plan. We're gonna use a boat. So like these Fletchers, get in the boat. Lead here. We're gonna have to go to sleep here in a moment. We'll get them up here at the very least. Now I should be able to lock them in. Although first I'm gonna lock this guy in because he's standing on top of his block. They make it so easy, they really do. Let's go ahead and break the boat. They should go to their profession blocks since we're up here, like this guy did. Push him in. Some professions, they don't just jump on top of the blocks. So if you put a row of blocks in front of it, like for the Fletcher right here, he'll jump on top of the blocks in front of his profession block, and then you can push him in like I just did right there. So yeah, I think this process is going to work good. I'm going to take the rest of these guys up, and I'm just going to keep doing this process over and over until we get our last guys back in. But as you can hear, the iron farm is working again. We do have over 75% of our villagers working at this point. So we're in a good spot. Okay, so when it comes to setting up a trading hall, I can successfully say that method worked incredibly well. It really did not take me that long to get every villager in its spot. So if you've been using minecarts this whole time to move them around into the spot and break the minecart and put the block, no, don't do it. This way works so well. This was really, really quick. And then moving them around in the boats, if you're on Bedrock Edition, of course, was also really, really easy to get everybody up top. And we now have every villager in place. And once you have every villager in place, now becomes the time that you're going to want to start locking in your villagers. Now, you don't have to lock them all in right away, because now that they're in their spots, we don't have to worry about them like unlinking from their profession blocks or anything of that nature. Like, they're all pretty much set and ready to go. The iron farm, you can tell, is working. We hear iron golems in there constantly getting killed. So what I'm going to do is what anybody should do whenever you have an iron farm trading hall is we're going to start trading iron. Because trading iron is going to get us emeralds, and emeralds are going to help us lock in all the professions that we want to keep. So what I can do is I can go and I can take a look at our armorer, and I can lock him in by, I'm going to need some emeralds to get him up to this level so I can start making emeralds. Let me go grab some emeralds I have from previous trading. Emeralds have been acquired. I hope it's enough, because what we should be able to do to get everything started here, I should just be able to buy a few pairs of iron leggings. Okay. We bought a few pairs of iron, a lot of pairs of iron leggings, and I don't need them. We're just going to throw them out, let them despawn. They're not going to do me any good. You could smelt it down for iron if you want to. I'm not worried about that. Now we're going to come over to this guy, and then we're going to trade, and we got ourselves, well, I think about 12 emeralds from that. Now we're going to need to do that a few times to get this chain really going. As you can see, like, we have different values that we're going to have to pay for different pieces of armor that these guys are selling. I may even be able to, maybe some of them, yeah, like, look. 1 emerald, I should have started here. 1 emerald train for a stone pickaxe, so we can go through. We could do that, and we could trade our iron away again. Now, there may be trades that you want to get from specific villagers. Now, there's a couple ways to do that I'd like to show you. So let me go up top here, not pick up all of those pickaxes, because we're going to be doing this a lot, especially once we get up to these guys, librarians. And we did this in an earlier episode, but this is the trading hall episode, so I want to do this again with you guys. Is we would go ahead, we would place a piston down right here with a lever on it, and then we would leave a blank space right here. And then if I want to re-roll this guy's trade, all I have to do is move this, and I'm probably going to do it twice because right now he's like stuck as a librarian. He didn't trade his profession. If I do it again now, he doesn't. Hello? Oh, there he goes. There he goes. Hold on. Now, there he goes. He's been fixed. Sometimes it takes them a while the first time after you set them in place. So now every time we do that, it is going to reset his trade. And I can just flick it back and forth like this and then see what trade he has each time until he has a enchanted book in his first slot that I want to use. And I get this comment every single time I do this. A lot of people say, don't use a lever, use a button, because you just have to press it once. But a button moves really slow, and I'm impatient. So to me, it's not that big of a deal to just do a quick flip of the switch after I check this guy, to double click, because then he resets quicker and I get to see what he becomes faster. Now, if you don't have access to a sticky piston to do this, because you do need a sticky piston to do this, you can always do it the old-fashioned way of putting a trapdoor up here, which you're probably going to want to do anyways. It'll keep baby zombies that, you know, could somehow find their way into the area from actually getting to your villagers. But you could put something like that up here and then break the block manually as well. That works too. It's a lot slower, as you can see. Kind of demonstrate for you guys, because some people think this way is faster. He would do that. I would look at him. I would break it. I would grab it. I would place it. And you're going to wear down your axe durability a lot doing it this way. So just doing the flick of the lever is going to be a lot simpler to scale down through, especially a lot of different villagers. Now, there is an easier way to find the trades that you want, especially if you're on PC or mobile. Let me show you. If you go to bedrocktweaks.net and you scroll down to GUI, click on that. There is a add-on here called Trading Helper. Click it, type in whatever pack name, you can just name it Trading Helper, and download it, and then double click it to install it to the game. Again, this is for Bedrock Edition only. Once you've installed it to the game, go to your world, click the edit icon, go to resource packs, my packs, and then I have it named as C Trades right here. So I'll click on C Trades, activate, and then now I have the C Trades pack on my world. Now, I will say, some of you may find this to be cheaty. That is absolutely fine. Play the world the way you want to play it. Me, I could sit here for God knows how many hours, probably days, rolling the trades that I want, and that would mean a ton of extra days between videos for you guys. Or I can use the See Trades add-on. I could click on this guy right here, and now I can see all the trades he has all the way through. This means as I'm sitting here and re-rolling him like so, I can look through and see all the trades he has. And then if I see one that I know that I want, I can decide to lock him in. Now, locking him in is incredibly important because if you do not lock your villager in, is he going to take it? Hello? There. It's right there. Yeah, there you go. Whenever I see a trade that I want, I'm going to want to lock that villager into that trade, because if you leave and come back, if he unlinks and links from this profession block in some way, shape, or form, it is possible that he can reset his trades, and then all of a sudden that trade that you really wanted, it's not available anymore. So I'm going to re-roll this guy a few times just to find something of high value that I would like to keep. And there we go. We have a mending villager now. Now, we do have a mending villager over at our little base area, but we're not going to want to stay over there. We're going to want to get things over here. I do need to have a book on me, however, which I do not have. So let me go grab one. I have trading stuff in hand now, so I can click on him, actually grab some paper. So we'll actually use some paper. One trade right there, that will lock him in. Now, for me to get my way all the way down here, of course, I just got to do multiple trades. Once I level him up to the next level, I can then come down here and trade something else to get him up to this next level. We will trade for some lanterns here, and bam, I now have mending unlocked. Even with the See Trades add-on, it's a lot of work to go through and do a full trading haul, so this is going to take some time. I'm not going to do it all in today's episode, but I am going to do it all. But for now, we're going to go back down to our armorers and our weaponsmiths and such here, and we're going to continue to do these iron trades here just to stock up on emeralds, because for us to go through and unlock all of these guys, it's going to take a lot of emeralds. So we're gonna have to AFK to iron farm some just to be able to have enough iron to trade. And for those of you that are screaming in your screens right now,
Bro, discount the villagers, what are you doing?
Don't worry, we plan on doing some discounts, and those discounts are going to happen in the next episode. I'm going to show you guys all the different ways to get your villagers with lower prices, because yes, if you're doing villager trading, especially in mass, you are 100% going to want to get these guys to discount themselves down to offer you really good prices. Now, another big thing you're going to want to make sure you do when you have a trading haul is you're going to want to label your trades. So in this case, we have our villager here. Beta arthropods, we don't really care about labeling that because we're not going to want it. We may want to grab lanterns though. So we're going to want to label lanterns and a mending book, okay? All of them have name tags. We don't need to label that. So we want to label the things that are unique that we care about. So what we'll do is we'll just put lantern and mending, and we'll stick it right here by holding down the crouch button, placing the sign, and putting mending and lanterns. And we're going to want to do this for every villager that we lock in as we lock them in. That way we know that they're locked. So this guy's locked. He's got pants and a chest plate, and neither one of them have like any special enchantments on it. So we'll just go right here. We'll put on boots, chest plate. Over here on this guy, we'll take a look through anything that he has that we really care about. He's got hoe, shovel, and pickaxe, and none of them have any special enchants on them, so we'll just label it hoe, shovel, pickaxe, and that's it. So we'll do this for all of our villagers as we go through, and eventually we'll have signs on every single one of them showing what they have, so we easily know where to go when we have things that we want to get, and it'll just make our farm a lot more organized and a lot more efficient. My last tip for you when it comes to trading halls here is take your time, especially the larger trading halls like this. It's going to take quite a bit of time to go through and get all the trades that you want. If you're the type of person that can just sit and grind for hours and hours and hours, then you'll probably have fun doing this. If you're the type that needs to get moving around and doesn't like to stay in one spot for too terribly long, then you may get a little bored rolling your trading haul, and that's fine. Do little bits at a time. Start with what's most important to you. For example, in the next episode, we're going to go over max gear, what I think the enchantments are that are the best, and then how I set up all my gear. I know that I want to have max enchanted gear, so between episodes here, I'm going to be going through and rolling all of these villagers, the librarian villagers, to have what I need to do that. From there, I'll just take a look at what things I want at the time and go through those. Like we may do some farmers to get some golden carrots, some of the stonemasons to get access to quartz or something like that. I don't know. We'll have to see what materials that we want and need, but take your time, do it as you go. You don't have to do it all at once if you don't want to. And lastly, just to talk about an area a little bit over here, just a little bit more, I am really excited for this. I hope you guys are too, because we have some pretty big plans for this area. Like I said, we're going to be putting a huge steampunk build right here. I saw a lot of people in the Iron Farm episode kind of said that I made things a little difficult. The last episode, the Iron Farm episode, it wasn't necessarily meant as much for you to copy it to build it the exact way I did. It was to teach you the fundamentals. If you paid attention to the last episode, I told you all the game mechanics that you need to know to go and create your own Iron Farm the way that you want to. I did mine this way, not because it was the simplest way to do it, but because it was fitting the aesthetic and the design that I want. I'm gonna give you guys a little spoiler right now for one of the cool things that we're gonna be doing here. And this idea was given to me by Master TMO, one of my stream chats. And that was, we're gonna make this place into the Iron Foundry. Now the Iron Foundry, the idea came from Terminator 2 movie, where you have Arnold Schwarzenegger fall down into a pit of lava, or actually if he lowers himself down into a pit of lava, thumb up in the air as he melts himself down. Spoiler alert, hope you've seen Terminator 2 already. But in any event, I want to do something similar to that. So what we're going to end up eventually doing when we get to the build part of this is we're going to cut big notch right out of here to drop the iron golems down into a pit of lava. And I have some cool plans on how I can slowly lower those guys down into the lava to give that cool Arnold Schwarzenegger effect. And I think the steampunk build on the outside, rather than going with like regular like modern American architecture like the movie, it's just going to add like a cool look to the place and make it look a lot different. And we have cool ideas for that too, that maybe I'll give some more spoilers on in the next episode as we get closer to actually doing the build. For now, I'm going to keep going through here and re-rolling villagers. If you enjoyed today's episode, make sure you click the like button, subscribe to the channel, because that'll make this villager take a profession. Also, drop me a comment, let me know what size trading halls you usually make. Appreciate you guys, and I'll see you next time. Bye!